Hi everyone, this is Ashley Jones, and in this lesson, let's take a look at how you can create plaid in cut and stitch software. So I'm going to open up a new workspace, and let's first get our Christmas tree to make plaid. I'm going to go up here to our craft shapes. Now I'm in the category under holiday and Christmas. You can look through the others. This will work with any of these designs, any of these artwork, or maybe even artwork that you bring in, but I'm just going to use a tree. So just in the Christmas category, we have a tree here. There's some trees on this gift package. We've got one on this ornament, and there's also these on this little stocking here. So you can use any of them. We just need a solid tree. You could also even draw a shape if you'd like, but I'm going to choose this gift package and say okay, and then I just want one of these trees, so I'm going to click away and then click on just one of the trees and slide it off to the side, and then I'm going to click and drag to select everything on the screen and then press the delete on my keyboard. So now I'm left with just this one tree. So now go over here to your transform tab up here in the top right, and then we're going to change the size. I'm going to make my tree, let's do 5 inches. So it's 4.29 wide, 5 high, and click apply. And then I'm going to double click on my zoom tool over here to the left, and that's going to bring my tree into perspective. And then I'm going to zoom out just a smidge by using my mouse. You could also zoom out with the zoom tool or either set the zoom up here at the top. So and you'll see why I'm going to zoom out. So to create the plaid, I used a rectangle from the artwork shape. So if I go up here to my artwork tool, click the arrow next to it, and then choose rectangle. And then you're just going to click and drag a thin rectangle onto the screen. Now I'm making it much longer than my tree, and this is so that when I rotate it I know it's going to fit, so you'll see all that. So make it much longer than your tree, and then now I'm going to select it. You can see my selection box around it. I'm going to go over here, and instead of outline I'm going to say fill, and then click apply. And now it is filled and it's blue. I'm going to change the color. Let's make this one red. So down here on my color chips, I'm going to right mouse click on the number 2 red. Now I'm going to copy and paste this on my toolbar, select copy, and then immediately click paste, and it pastes it right on top. I can see here in my sequence view that it did paste another one, so now I just need to click and then move it off away from that particular tree. So I'm going to make it a good distance apart, and I want to make this one a little bit smaller. I don't want my plaid to all be the same size, but you can. It's entirely up to you. And I'm going to change this one to, let's do white. And now let's copy and paste another one. So I've actually already copied from before, so I can simply click the paste and it'll paste another one right on top of my red. But if you don't get another rectangle, simply copy it again and then paste it. So, and then I'm going to slide this one over, and I'm not going to put them equal distance apart because I want my plaid to be different sizes. So I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller, and maybe even make the white one a little bit smaller because I want 3 distinct different sizes here. Now this red one on the right, I'm going to right mouse click on the number 3 green chip to change that color. And now I've got 3 different colors for my plaid, and I'm still not super happy. So just, make your adjustments, whatever size, you want it to be. It's entirely up to you, how big you want it. And then I'm going to specifically make sure there's uneven distance here, because that's the way I want it. So now each of these, if I zoom in, click my zoom tool and just drag a box around this, you can see there's a black outline around the white one specifically, and it is around the others as well. And I want that to be the same color so that I don't have that black outline. So I'm going to go back to my select tool, click on the red, hold down my control key, and you can see I've got a plus behind my select tool. Plus, that means that when my control key is being held down, I can add by clicking on another object. So now I have these 3 objects selecting by holding down my control key and then clicking on each one while I'm holding it. So with all 3 of those selected, let's just use the alignment tools here to align those so that they're top aligned. And now with those selected, I'm going to go over here to my properties and I'm going to click this equal sign. So in my artwork properties, the stroke color is black. That's that black outline. But if I click equal, it'll make the stroke color the exact same color as the fill color, which is what I want. Okay. So now I'm going to double click my zoom tool to zoom out. And I've got my 3 plaid pieces selected still. With those selected, I'm going to choose the repeat tool. Repeat tool is just going to make a bunch of copies for me really quick. I don't want any, I don't want more down. I want more across. So I'm going to click to add a couple of more across. And if you know the size of your tree, which remember we had a 5-inch tall by a 4.29 wide, you can watch this number here as you increase the number of repeats to make sure you've got the coverage that you need. So 5 works. And then instead of having my red and my green touch one another, I'm going to put a little bit of horizontal space here. So I'm going to do a point, let's see what a 0.1 looks like. And I'm going to click apply. Oh, I kind of like that because it makes another uneven gap between the red and the green. You can see it's not the same distance here as I have between my others. So I actually kind of like the 0.1. But if you want a little more distance, change that and click apply. And see, to me, that's a little too symmetrical. So let's go down to 1.5 and see. I think I'm good with that. So 0.15 of an inch, the distance between my repeats. Now I'm going to say OK, and it'll add that to my workspace. Now, while I'm here selected, I'm just going to go ahead and click my group. That's going to make sure that I can select these all together, and I'm just going to slide that over my tree. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now with that entire group selected, I'm going to copy and paste. So copy, paste, and then I'm going to click the rotate. You can rotate either left or right, it doesn't matter. We're going to click rotate 2 times. So rotate 1 and 2. Okay, so now I've got my nice plaid. So this, you can actually leave it this orientation if you want. You don't have to rotate it again, but I'm going to go over here to my sequence view and I'm going to hit the control key and click the first group and the second group. That's selecting all of my rectangles, and I'm going to rotate those together so that they're in that diagonal fashion. Okay, so now to get the diagonal to be the shape of the tree, we need to crop the artwork. Now to crop the artwork, I do want to have an artwork in the background as well. And so I'm going to copy and paste this and put one of them on top. So let's copy and paste. With that tree selected, you can see here it made another copy, and I want that second copy to be on top. So I'm going to send that to the front. So up here on my toolbar, move to the front. And now I can select the tree on top and the 2 elements that are grouped by holding down my control key. You can see the 3 of those are selected here. And then I'm going to click on my toolbar, the crop option. And it will crop the plaid to the shape of my tree. So isn't that cute? So now this could be a cut file if you want. You could cut out the tree and then all of the pieces to layer your artwork. So if you select this and click your cut tool, you can see that it's dividing that up into those different pieces to make your cut file there. But I'm going to show you how you can also turn this into embroidery. So not only can it be a cut file, but we can turn this into an embroidery design as well. So I see this as a applique for the tree, and then the plaid stitching over top of my applique fabric or vinyl. So let's select the tree first, which is the last object or the first object in our sequence view over here. And I'm going to click to turn that into applique. You can choose applique or you can choose vinyl applique, whichever you're working with. So regular applique for fabric, vinyl applique if you're using HTV. Okay. And actually, I think I'm going to, I'll leave that. All of the plaid will also hold the HTV in place, so I don't necessarily need that vinyl HTV. So now I'm going to select all of my rectangles by over in my sequence view, clicking on the first one in the list, holding down my shift key, and then right mouse click and select the last color that is part of the plaid rectangle. So now shift key, click on the first one and hold the shift key down and click on the last one. It will select all of them. With all of them selected, I'm going to click on my wizard. So my auto vectorizing wizard here, it will turn artwork or an image into artwork, or if I have artwork already and I have it selected, it will convert it to stitches for me. So if I click on the wizard with that selected, it says, do you want to auto digitize these? Yes, I do. And boom, turns them into a satin stitch. So, and that looks pretty cute. I actually like the satin, and you could stitch it with those as full satins, but you can also adjust the density of those. If we go over to our sequence view again, click on the first one, hold down your shift key, click on the last one, and then over here in the density, this will allow us to change the density all at one time. So I'm going to do a 1.0. That's just a personal preference. You could do less or more, but I kind of like that look it gives. It almost kind of gives you like a little bit of a vintage look, right? So I love that. Now, the next thing that I want to point out is when we watch this stitch out, you can see that it's going to do the applique and then start to stitch all of those colors. Now, notice we've got a bunch of red and greens, and it seems like it would certainly be easier if we didn't have to change all those colors. So I'm going to select my entire design, choose Edit, and say Color Sort, and it'll put my like colors together for me where it can. Depending on the stitch order, like in this case, the white that are going one direction, stitch before the white of the other direction, so that's why it didn't group those exactly together, and the same thing with the green. But now when we watch this stitch out, it's much better. So it'll stitch the applique, and then all of our white that's going this angle, all of the red, and then it goes ahead and stitches the red that angle, so you don't have to change again, but then it does the white and the green. Okay, so I think that's great. That's perfect. Now, the other thing here is that I want the plaid to stitch after the tack down of my applique, but before the finishing stitch, so it'll have a nice clean edge. So I'm going to go over here in my sequence view and select the applique. Now, when I save this to a machine format, it automatically breaks up into a run stitch, a placement stitch, and then that finishing stitch. So that automatically happens upon save. But so that we don't have to save this and reopen it, we can break this up so that we can separate the run stitch from the finishing stitch. So the tack down and the placement will be separate. So over here on the applique, I'm going to do right mouse click, break up path, and you can see now I have the run stitch for placement, the run stitch for tack down, and then the finishing stitch. So the applique finishing stitch, I'm going to send that to the front so it's the last thing that stitches. And now I have that beautiful finished edge there. And now the two run stitches, I'm going to change the color. Now, if you had just left this as applique and saved it, it automatically gives you the three separate colors. But because we forced it to break this up, we need to tell it what we want it to do. So I'm going to click on the first run stitch, and then I'm going to do a right mouse click on the blue number 1, and that changes it. So now it'll stitch the placement, stop, let you put down your fabric or your vinyl, and then stitch the run stitch tack down, and then it's going to stitch all of our plaid and then the finishing stitch applique last. So let's watch this stitch out on screen. So we've got our placement, tack down, and then all of our satin, and then that final finishing stitch. So isn't that adorable? I love that. Now I'm going to choose the this first run stitch here, and let's add fabric to it, see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to click on my fabric library, and I have my Caesar HTV category. Of course, I love that. So let's choose this light green, click OK, and that's what it would look like if I'm going to do the HTV glitter. So isn't that cute? I just love that. So that's how you can make a plaid in cut and stitch software. You can do this with the tree that I've done here, but you certainly can use any other artwork built into the cut and stitch software, or you can also import your own artwork and do the same exact thing. So hope you enjoyed this video.